This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
Hi, this is Kyle Higgins, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a special episode of the Capes and Lunatics. It's me, Phil. Lilith and Charlie should be along soon, but I'm here today with a special guest. He's got a book coming out soon. Mr. Kyle Higgins. How you doing, Kyle?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
There's Lilith.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good, yourself?
Good.
So yeah, we're here because Radiant Black is coming out. I know we're pre-recording this because you said you're way busy. Lots of getting the word out. Final.
Well, yeah, there's that, but there's also, I'm writing Ultraman for Marvel. I have another book there that's not announced yet. I have 3 or 4 other creator-owned books. So it's just, and some other jobs as well. So it's just a lot of kind of everything all at once and owing everything to everyone all the time and being and feeling like you're just perpetually letting everyone down all at once.
Never.
Oh, if Charlie gets here,
that's my day. Yeah,
Charlie's gonna want to talk Ultraman if he gets in here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I read the first 2 issues. I'm loving this. I mean, ask Lil. It takes a lot for me to stray from Marvel and DC, but I'm here for it.
It does.
Thank you.
I had the first one on my pull list. When I go in on Wednesday, I'm gonna be like, pull. Make this a monthly thing.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for giving it a shot. And
well, I had full faith in him because he revived the Power Rangers freaking brand from the dead. So you have my undying loyalty for that.
Oh, thank you. It was fun, and I'm really happy I'm able to kind of take some of what I learned there and do it now on an original creation. So,
I mean, is this literally inspired by yourself? Because I mean, the main character is a writer.
Well, I don't know how literally inspired by. I don't know what that exactly means.
Are there? I mean, you don't have to say which parts, but are there personal things to you in this story?
Yeah, of course. I mean, but that's every story you do. Like every story you do, there are parts that you include of little quirks about yourself you give to a character, or something you like, or you happen to be interested in that month. You make the character interested in, and it's just kind of you pull from everywhere. And so there's a few of those that are combined here for Nathan. It's that's kind of par for the course as well.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, sorry, I'm 2 minutes late.
Oh no, that's okay. That's
my
okay.
apology.
No, Cal just has limited time. But not only are we talking the regular book, Charlie, you know what else he writes?
What else does he write?
Ultraman at Marvel.
Ooh, I really liked the issues I've read so far of that book.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy who grew up in Ultraman, so he is my Saturday morning go-to kaiju fighter. Long before the Power Rangers love. So I really do like the work that you're doing there. So that is really appreciated.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah, I always like hearing when people don't hate it. So, or when people don't hate my work, I should say. So
Yes.
Thank you. Very nice.
Yes. I also, are we talking Radiant Black now?
Yeah,
as well?
yeah. I was just about that.
Yeah.
Cal, tell us how did it start? How was this thing born?
Well, some of the concept, the iconography, the name, the miniature black hole as a source of powers, that all kind of started rolling around in my head as I was leaving Power Rangers, or probably shortly after. And I started looking at using that for kind of a more dystopian limited series story that just kind of explored what happened after, a couple hundred years after some entities saved the world, and how things had then devolved into a slightly kind of dystopian nightmare, more so as a result of that. But, like I said, it was only going to be a limited story, 6-issue thing. And about a year and a half ago, Eric Stevenson, the publisher of Image, asked me if I'd ever had any interest in creating an original superhero. Obviously, I've written superheroes for a long time now, and had just done this really kind of huge reimagining for the Power Rangers line with the comic books. And I said, well, I would love to do that, but I figured there wouldn't be a market for something like that. And he thought there would be. And I just started looking around at what I had, and it was very quick that I realized, well, all this iconography, the miniature black hole stuff, the power set, like that, I have all that, and the name is great. What if I do that straight now as a contemporary story? And I'd been like toying around with this idea of a character in their 30s having to move back home, just kind of in general. Before that, just I knew I wanted to do something with that idea. I had a couple friends at the time who were considering moving back home, and then some who ultimately did. And I had done that after like a really bad breakup a few years ago. I went and kind of like traveled to Europe for a bit, and then on my way back to LA, stopped back in Illinois and ended up staying for a few months. So it just kind of seemed like a really nice way to merge ideas and use that as a starting point to kind of look at superheroes and superpowers through a slightly different lens. And that is someone who's a little bit older, who's gone through a bit more of life, who has hopefully more appreciation for the type of responsibility that would come with powers like that. And also who knows what it's like to talk to a bank and figure out like interest rates and ask for loans and get turned down and have to deal with moving and taxes, and at what point you should try to incorporate, that's all stuff that may not necessarily make for the most riveting of action points. But I do think it's stuff that if you're not, it is also stuff that is when depending on how you write it or handle it, stuff that I think is incredibly relatable, whether it's at this point in your life or a point to come in your life, because we all kind of go through some of that stuff. I was just joking to my dad today. I said, I never learned I don't remember the class in high school that taught me how to write a check. Like we didn't have, or how to figure out QuickBooks. That would be way more helpful for my day to day.
Talk about your adult situations.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really kind of where it all stems from.
But yeah,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, I just wanted to say, the one thing that really struck me about this book, and I didn't realize he was in his 30s. I'll be honest with you, and but then again, I don't know how old anyone is in comic books. But I really loved what he was going through, what he's working with. But what I found most fascinating is how classically comic booky and classically superhero it is, in the sense of, here's a floating mini black hole. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should touch it. And I did love. There's. Did
you see the alcohol? The scene before.
Yes.
That's the most relatable thing Charlie has ever seen.
You know what? I have a harder. Do you realize that these are two people? Do you look at the clothes they're wearing? It's snowing out. Neither of them has anything that you can even classify as a jacket.
Yeah. No, I understand that. No, I actually, but. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I really love these qualities to the story. Like I said, it has, there's this thing that I think is really sometimes missing in a lot of modern heroic tales, which is a lack of randomness. Everyone's always the chosen one, or that this is the destiny. And I actually think that the idea that just no, it's a radioactive spider. It's just, no, you found the amulet. You found the thing. It wasn't meant for you. It's just what showed up today.
Right.
And you were just the guy there. And I always like to reference it to Jason and the Argonauts, in the idea that, in many ways, Jason is kind of, although he has a kind of tragic end by the end of it, he's kind of just a guy who was either in the right place or the wrong place at just that time to be chosen by the gods to be a hero. And I think that is a beautiful idea in superheroic stories that I think often gets forgotten. I always say that Batman is better when, it's not a grand conspiracy to kill the Waynes. It's just a random act that now he has to process. And so I like the fact that it's this random thing that the guy has to go through, that it's random that he's getting this, and now he has to deal with it and has to grow into this power in a way that will make sense for him. And, and of course, money troubles, that's as old as Stan Lee. Just really classic.
Kyle doesn't take this personally, but your millennial was showing. I'm a millennial, so it's very relatable to me. That's all I'm saying. I see a lot of our life things that we've gone through. It's very relatable on that level.
Well, yeah, I think it's a good mix because, like Charlie said, there's some classic comic book scenarios, but then on the little side, it is very set in like the real world. So I think you got a nice mix there.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I've described it as friendly neighborhood problems with cosmic scope.
Yeah, and along that line, I cannot wait to see what the backstory of our villain is in this. That's the thing. It's like every hero is defined greatly by their villain. And
is that how that works?
Well, I think so. Maybe that's just me, Maybe I'm wrong on that, But I always think that, the villain sets up... Because, if you think about it, like just having one guy with superpowers in the universe, it doesn't do much. But when he has a villain and who that villain is and what that villain's story is, that tends to both inform and parallel. And I'm excited for this villain. I also love the good-natured back and forth between our hero and our villain. Because I don't think obviously, I guess we're calling him Radiant Black. I don't know what we're calling the red guy yet. But I like
that when this episode drops.
Yes. I think we were going to drop it the day before the issue came out, just so we were like, hey, go tomorrow, go pick up the issue 1.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So, we did get advanced on the 2, so
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know if this was. Is this no spoilers? Anyway, I'm sorry then. Good story is what I'll say, and the interaction between them is very honest and believable, both in his perspective as honestly just a nice person, who's just trying to do right by his life, but also trying to work through things. And then this person whose obvious first choice was to rob banks, which is of course a classic trope that, I have superpowers, I guess I'll go rob a bank because that's where the money is, as they say.
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny nor comment on the motivations of said color other than Radiant Black character that you allude to.
Okay. Well, the red guy does show up in the first issue, so.
Yes, yeah, he does. Yeah. At the end of the issue. But I think there's more in issue 1 that makes that inclusion an afterthought in a positive way, rather than the point of the issue. So we're hopeful that I don't know. This is a different kind of issue 1 than I've kind of written before. So we'll be curious to see how it all works and goes over and who sticks around.
Very engrossing, and the pacing was absolutely superb. But as usual, it's what us Power Ranger fans call the Higgins charm storytelling method.
I don't even know what that means.
I know
you have a certain style that works, and it's quirky and kind of like succinct to you, I guess. It's just kind of a thing because you wrote so much. It's just like so different, and it's different from the DC stuff and the Marvel stuff that you've done slightly.
Oh, that's
Power Ranger fans are obsessive. I don't know if you know that about us.
No, I've never heard that. I didn't know anyone paid attention to any way that I write. That's awesome to hear.
I know I was engrossed. I just read this and I was like, oh man, how long is he going to make us wait till we get the origin of this black hole and everything and where these powers come from? So I mean,
that's part of the fun of it all, to be honest, because as far as how the powers work, what the history of them are, one of the things that I struggled with on Power Rangers after I left, or as I was doing the book, you'll notice that the early portions of my run are very high school clique drama kind of centric. Stuff with Kim and her dad. There was stuff with Billy and his mom. And I can't remember if Jason's parents really factored into mine. I know Ryan did stuff with them. But as things really ramped up to Shattered Grid, what became Shattered Grid, it was like all that kind of goes away. And what I realized is I even had the thought at the time, I was like, oh man, if I ever did more Power Rangers, like I don't know how I would do it, because it's really hard to go back to normal small town kind of Earth stories when you've just gone and done this huge event and you went cosmic. And so I kind of had that in mind with Radiant Black. Like, how do I avoid that problem? And what I kind of realized is that, it's probably no surprise that, it's in the solicits that the miniature black hole itself does come from cosmic origins. So the idea that there could perhaps be some cosmic threats is probably not, all that surprising, hopefully here. Otherwise, sorry, spoiler, but there's probably going to be cosmic threats. However, if I'm going to say this now that I'm going to do this and then watch, like I'll end up breaking my own rule. But right now, my thinking is that we won't know anything about what's out there cosmically beyond what Nathan knows. So that means that if and when the cosmic comes into the forefront or comes into the book, Nathan will deal with it accordingly, and then you go back to what you know, because it's what your reality is, and then I can do some more of those smaller stories interspersed with perhaps some bigger interstellar stories as well.
And did I hear, are there things going to be spinning out of this book also eventually?
What do you mean?
Like different characters or maybe even the other books and stuff?
It's always possible. If the book,
no plans or announcements yet.
Well, there's nothing I can speak to at the moment, literally in this moment. But sure, there's always super fun possibilities there, and I have a lot of experience kind of shepherding some stuff like this, thanks to the Power Rangers years. So it's something
that
a
lot of speculation about Image really wanting to branch out past just like the Spawn being like more superheroes. I think that's where that speculation comes from. And people are super excited to see more from you. So,
Oh yeah.
Well,
that
I'm very excited about that and that the prospect of that as well. So yeah, we'll see
keep
what happens.
an eye out for it.
Yeah, I would say just keep your eyes on the stands and solicits and announcements and things of that nature. And on the Radiant Black side in particular, we still have several pretty cool surprises up our sleeve before issue 1 even comes out. So we'll see what happens, and well, one or two of them might be after the issue comes out, but yeah, we're going to be pushing the envelope and looking to do some cool things.
But is it just so freeing doing like your own, like create your own character? Because like other, with the Power Rangers or even the DC or Marvel stuff, it's just like, you got to worry about, our fans get, the diehards like down there in the corner. Are they going to, are they going to yell at me for doing this on Power Rangers? But now it's like Radiant Black. You're the word,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm literally dealing with some notes on a project today from rights holders. And it's like, oh, okay, I see where they're coming from, but from a storytelling standpoint, it's a huge bummer. But you figure out ways to make things work. But it is very, as you say, it very much is a compromise some of the time, or a lot of the time anyway. Whereas on something like Radiant Black, it's what I want it to be, what Marcelo and I want it to be. We have a small little team. It's Marcelo, it's myself, it's Becca, who's our letterer, and then it's Michael, who's our editor/designer. We'll probably bring a colorist on at some point just because it's so much labor right now on Marcelo. But that's still like, it's a tight little group, tight little core. And that means that we're able to really kind of iterate very quickly amongst ourselves and try different things. And it's just so much fun. It's so liberating.
Were you able to handpick your crew, or were there like a list for suggestions?
No.
Or did you just okay.
That's the thing about Image. It's all on you. Like, now, I shouldn't say it's all on you. What I mean is you call the shots. Like, if you want to bring in a full team, you bring in a full team. Like, you need an artist, but beyond an artist and an artist, a colorist, and a letterer, like design and things like that. Like, Image will totally do that with you or for you. If you don't want to bring in your own designer. I have a designer that I love, who's also the editor on the book. And I knew I wanted him to do both because I thought there'd be some really nice synergy there. And especially because it's Michael Busudel who did, he does the Ranger Danger podcast. So he already, we've worked together on podcasts and things like a ton for several years now. And then he knows all the touch points that I'm looking at as well, influence wise, for Radiant Black. And because he's also an amazing designer, it's just the integration is so seamless and easy. But yeah, I mean, if I didn't want to bring him in, I could have found, like, Image could have helped there for sure. But and then on the marketing side, they do a ton. So, but yeah, like there are also things where, like, on the marketing side, like, they have people that were going to do like a video and social graphics and stuff, but we kind of wanted to do them ourselves just to keep all of the same visual and design aesthetic consistent. But that's just because we're like crazy control freaks.
It's your baby.
Yeah. And it gets to be, it gets to be.
And I'm sure it's hard work, but I mean, I think it's paid off. Even like you were talking about the art. I mean, I think your art team has really done you a favor, because it's like before they even get to your story, someone's going to see that on the stand and say, "Ooh, what's that? I got to pick that up and look at that. Check this out."
Yeah, we were really. I was really, really diligent about covers and about finding and working with quality illustrators and cover artists. Some are friends, some I've worked with before. Others are just people that I've admired or whose work I've admired, and I'd always wanted to find a way to do something together. And oh man, the best are yet to come too. Like, you guys haven't seen anything yet, covers wise, but that's important. That was important to me because I felt like, and this is the other part, Marcelo's design is so stunning. It's simple, it's elegant, but also iconic. and it reduces down to a small size, like really well. The eyes read in the helmet so well. They're so expressive. And so that coupled with, I lost my train of thought. What were we just talking about?
Cover
the design. Yeah.
No. Before that, the covers. Yeah. So because I knew we had a winner with the design and the genre we were looking to be telling stories in here, it meant I felt like, okay, the best thing I could try to do now is see if I can make it, like, how do I help make the character feel validated? And I thought, well, if I got other artists to draw him, that makes him feel like he's accepted more, in my mind anyway. You know, like some of these, like David Finch drawing your new original character does kind of validate the character a little bit in the market, in my mind anyway. Maybe that's because I'm an insecure writer, but it's been really fun to see all these different artists interpret this costume design that they all seem to really enjoy rendering, and just the shapes of it are really pleasing to draw. Is really neat. That's a really special, cool feeling, and what's come from that is, as you say, some really stunning visuals and covers that I think really catch your eye, along with the logo that Rich Bloom did, that just has personality and energy while still feeling contemporary.
I mean, the art impressed me so much. I'm sure you'll be like, it's not in the works yet, but are any talk of like any like posters or like any?
Where's the merch?
Yeah. We're already.
A lot of people are asking me that. Actually, that's pretty cool. That's nice to hear. What I would say is subscribe to my newsletter. You can find it at radiant.black/newsletter. It's Kyle Higgins Black Market News. It's basically my company's Black Market narrative. So the newsletter is kind of associated with that. But that'll be where we'll start announcing some different merch that we are putting together and talking about. And yeah, there are posters out there that went to comic book stores. Okay. So you can find them on eBay or you can track them down at a comic book store, but they're like 18 by 24. So those are out there right now. But yeah, as far as like bigger stuff, like the dream for me is like a poster run from these covers with Mondo, like that, or Bottleneck Gallery. Like that's the dream for me. So we'll see if it comes, if something like that could come to fruition.
And just the design of like you were saying, the costume and stuff. I mean, action figures. Come on.
Oh yeah, the cost to make an action figure, I'm sure. So significant, you know. But never say never. Never say never. I do think we've got something. I think we've got a design and a look that, you know, really has a shot at penetrating the market.
I mean, start with T-shirts, free walking billboards.
That's true. Although my aesthetic for stuff like that is so minimalist. Like I like the T-shirt design that is like the sophisticated kind of looking X-Men, you know, shirt with just like the little X, you know, pin or something. So I would probably want to do stuff that's way more visually low, like visually more subtle than what a walking billboard T-shirt would need to be.
Just put the logo on there and people will be like, hey, what's that?
Oh, is that the London Underground, the London Tube System? Circle with the line through it? Oh, yeah. Do you work for the trains? You work for the tube. Yeah. I see no way that'll go wrong.
Wow. Everyone's quiet. All right.
Well.
No, go ahead. Anyone have any questions?
No, enough gushing.
Yeah,
I can't gush anymore. It's not my nature.
So here's my thing. So, and I'm sorry, I didn't know this was spoiler free. So, my apologies if I said anything untoward. But I just want to let people know this is a really fascinating book with an amazing dynamic between Nathan and I guess his high school best friend, who, you know. I'm interested in his story as sort of a bon vivant bohemian, and how that relates to Nathan, because he is such a he's such a guy who seems to be at once both together and an erstwhile dreamer. And I do feel, and maybe that's just because, you know, I'm a guy who went to New York at a point to pursue, you know, the grandness of the lights and the things of that nature. So I do identify with that, and that idea of the person who goes out to explore and then maybe never quite gets there in the way that they imagined, but actually probably accomplished more than they're willing to give themselves credit for. And then the friend who stayed behind, who I also have, who have their own life and but also a passion of their own. And I'm interested in that dynamic between those two friends, especially in how it's going to evolve and how it's going to evolve within the context of one of them gaining superpowers, and you know, and whether or not that's going to cause a rift between them. You know, I mean, that to me is like, man, if the other guy had reached out at that point, you know,
very different book.
Different, it's a very different book, and you know, and how does that play out for them, or is he just a person who is centered?
Feel like you dodged a bullet.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like the
These
person.
These are all very good questions. These are all very good questions.
And I can't wait to see them be answered in many, many books to come. Is my point.
That is the hope. That is,
you know, that is the thing. Like, when you get into the human story of it, it is a really fascinating tale. You know, as I always say that, you know, when you're working in genre fiction, the genre, whatever it is, whether it's superheroes or space aliens or, you know, a mixture of everything, all that is just, that's the icing on the cake. What makes the cake good is the story of the people within it. Right. And I really feel that there is a strong human story here to tell.
Well, thank you so much. That's I appreciate that. I'm just excited for people to, well, I guess by the time this video goes up, tomorrow be able to buy the book.
Well, great.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to call it there, guys. I've got pages I got to write tonight still. But thank you all so much. This is so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Hey, no problem.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Have a good night. Thanks for joining us so much.
Thank you,
Take care, everybody.
So who saw Batwoman?
I was going to say, this is a Capes and Lunatics episode. So, yeah, I mean, we could talk that. But, yeah, sorry I jumped in early. But he was like, yeah, I have limited time. And I was like, okay, well, maybe.
No, I understand. No, like I said, I just felt bad because I felt like, dude, you're putting my job in jeopardy talking about issue 2. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, I don't want to do that. Because it is a great book. And it is, you know, and I hope he didn't feel like I was saying, oh, it's so classic superhero-y. You know, it's great because what it gives. I mean, here I wouldn't say this to his face, but I will say the one thing as a person who has gone bankrupt multiple times. If you're $38,000 in credit card debt, dude, that's unsecured debt. Just get a lawyer, write that off. Just say, yep, nope, not paying that back. Sorry.
Again, there was no class on bankruptcy.
Yeah, and you can tell that his dad's the kind of guy. Bankrupt would clutch his pearls over it. You know, it's like, oh wow, I can see you're not redneck, so that's okay.
But then I just realized,
like my people's, it's like, oh, your first bankruptcy today, you are a man.
But yeah, I mean, I realized it was good because he gave us a sneak peek at issue 1 and 2, and then I was like, I see issue 3 through April. I'm like, oh crap, we're gonna have to wait till April to like.
That's what happens when you do the spoilies. I will say,
I know.
Which is why certain producers should say this is a non-spoiler podcast. We're talking about this issue. You can have a sense of.
It was implied, Charlie. For the love of God, it was implied.
You can't imply nothing with me. How long have you known me? Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, people. I mean, go get this book on February.
I'm going to track down that poster.
I'm doing an online search when we're done. Yeah, I mean, again, I got to read issues 1 and 2. I'm still paying for issues 1 and 2 when they come out, so this is quality.
Hey, you gotta have a floppy. The art is that good. Like,
yeah.
I'm curious to see how it looks in person.
Oh yeah, on paper, yeah.
Although I will say on the T-shirt question, just because just because of what my day job is, and I'm just thinking, man, no, direct to garment. You can print direct to garment, do on demand. That's how all the T-shirt companies do it now. You can get that merch out there right away.
But you also, when you do it that way, you lose a little lack of control. And plus, if you have your own company, it's actually easier to just go ahead and get a press and do it yourself on small batches. That way, it creates like a limited demand. That whole thing.
I just have a feeling.
Because internet.
I just have a feeling stuff's in the works already that he just can't talk about. Yeah, because I wanted to do this, like actual day before the book came out, and he was like, "Oh no, that week's going to be so busy and stuff." I was like, "I understand."
Yeah.
So anyway, so
you should talk Batwoman. So
yeah, well, because you know what, I noticed. Oh, okay. So you did go back and look at my. I noticed that no one tweeted back at me. Or
I was too engrossed, actually. Like, sometimes that just happens. Yeah. Like, you can tell when the episodes are like, because I'm tweeting. And then sometimes I just get so engrossed and I forget to tweet, and I'm like, damn it.
I wasn't able to watch live. I watched like an hour later, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's always the thing is, because actually that was the thing is I'm tweeting as I'm watching it. I miss the fact that, okay, they do show Zazzles does have multiple scars. Before he goes for the one on the head.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't live tweet much anymore, because I used to do it with the Flash and stuff, and I'm like, I miss stuff when I'm, just like...
Well, yeah, of course, because that's
when you podcast, you're supposed to watch it twice, Philip. Did no one ever tell you?
Yeah, exactly. So
like, once we're live watching, then once before you, but the way we do it now, it's impossible, but...
Yeah, although Tristan did ask, gee, do you think he had scars on his penis, too? Because he do show that he pulls out his pants.
Spoken like a true esser.
I know,
well,
man.
It's like, but it's an interesting question. It's like, because obviously, here's the thing.
Did he circumcise himself, or
he could still be just putting on extra scars. He could have done stuff on the top of his feet, or how far he goes.
Well,
that's always the thing.
And I think we're going to cover this story later. But those first, that first arc in Shadow of the Bat Lilith, Batman's like checking Zaz to see if he's killed these people, but he didn't see any like extra tally scars on him. But meanwhile, he did the bottom of his feet. So yeah,
see, and that is so stupid because, and if not for nothing, that's why he's getting warped in this episode. He's just putting scars in the places that are just not efficient for what you're doing. And I'm just going to say right now,
he's deranged. It's not going to make sense.
I mean,
although he wasn't, I'm gonna say Gotham did it better. Hashtag.
I was gonna say, Gotham did it better. I was gonna say, I mean, technically the guy was a good actor, but I thought he was, I don't know, maybe a little too polite or calm for Zaz.
Yeah. I guess he didn't want to do the full Jared Leto. Like everybody's afraid to go full Jared now.
Never go full Jared Leto.
Never.
Well, you know what? He has to define the character because this is like the third live action Zaz we've gotten.
Oh yeah, because
we've got Gotham. There's an Arrowverse one.
Harley.
Although aren't these in the same universes now?
Oh yeah, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn movie. Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. That was.
But that's nothing to talk about. Like 8 people saw that movie.
Well, yeah. But wasn't there one in Arrowverse or
yeah,
no?
there was.
Okay, so there's an Arrowverse one.
Well,
but
wait,
and again,
that woman's Arrowverse.
No, he means Arrow, just Arrow.
Oh, yeah.
That was like season 3 or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's the Arrowverse, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the Arrow show. The whole universe itself is debatably at this point called
And again,
Arrowverse.
Crisis, you could change it whatever you want.
I don't know. I guess the Berlanti-verse, but isn't all the Berlanti
CW-verse? You can't say Berlanti-verse either, though, because that includes Titans. It's like a whole thing, and they are very definitively separated.
It's the same.
So that's why it has to be the CW-verse.
Anyway, so apparently there's another Zaz. There's another Zazzles in this universe.
Again, but it's Crisis. Crisis might have wiped away the other one.
And you can.
So this is like the Miles Morales.
I mean, so much change. I mean, Oliver Queen's mother was dead for years, and now she's alive.
Like the best sacrifice in the whole show. Great job, writers.
Oh yeah,
never mind. It's too soon. But yeah, Batwoman. I told you guys, it's getting good. I am like the Unsullied now, though, because I knew the first 3 episodes. I don't know what's happening now. I'm very nervous.
But I will say this: I enjoyed it very much. I think that. Probably being a top tier assassin is a really awful job because it seems like every top tier assassin gets beat up a lot. Because, like, even, and, honestly, the whole thing with, like, Alice and, what's her name, Saphira?
Sophia. Yeah.
Sophia, whatever. It was a little weird that, this poor, her Smithers assassin, who's just so clearly in love with Saphira, but, like, not interested. Wants Alice, and it's like, being the favorite.
I feel like we've been here though before. I think they're retreading Arrow territory at this point. This is very League of Assassins.
Oh yeah,
Ra's al
back.
Ghul.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, we've been here, done that, and better.
I got that.
No shade to Batwoman.
I got that vibe. Yeah.
So I'm just like, no shade.
Yeah,
beloved and all, no shade.
This universe is filled with secrets.
But like, even Mary gets like the drop on Zaz, so that's like, But again, that's why you're not supposed to cut veins in the top of your head. You're like hurting the blood flow, man. Like, that's like not a good place to put a scar.
But it looks cool.
Yeah,
so that's all. Rule the cool for TV, bro.
He's vain.
But if it makes you bad at your job, it's not good. That's what I'm saying.
Everybody's bad at their job,
especially in the Arrowverse.
It's the Arrowverse.
I'm just saying, the man could find another method of giving himself pain. That, honestly, not
somebody get Selena Kyle on the phone. Paging Selena Kyle.
He could just flagellate himself, and he'd be much better off. That's all I'm saying.
What?
Although I did like the line where he says, "I guess it would be close to retirement."
Swine.
I don't do that.
Phil's head's always in the gutter. I apologize. I take full responsibility.
I was going to say, thank you, my masters.
But no, like, I'm still very excited for Batwoman, but I'm nervous now. I don't like not knowing what's coming next, so, like.
I mean, if they can keep up the quality, I'm here for it. Like I said, I think she's a much better actress than Ruby Rose, especially in this role.
Yeah. No, I mean, she's great. And we actually get the curly hair wig now. To show that we've made her own special bat suit.
Even she was like, "Did you see that wig? Did you see that red wig?"
Struggle wig.
Even she pulled out the struggle wig. Yeah, she's like, "Did you see that wig?"
Take that back to Party City where you found it.
Yeah. Well,
Charlie doesn't know the long history of struggle wigs in the Arrowverse. He don't know.
Oh, she's been yelling about this since the first season of Arrow.
Oh, I guess wigs are a thing.
Well, when they would do the flashbacks in the first couple seasons of Oliver Queen on that island, like they had like these bad wigs on his head, And
apparently, all along, it was on purpose.
Oh, I know. Then he leave.
He intentionally had a bag wig so he could go.
Well, he left the island.
He was on the island for like 20 years, but no, I secretly found the boat off. I just keep.
Well, no, and I called that in season 1. I was like, he wasn't on the island the whole time, homie. Just saying. CW writing is CW writing. And I just don't want Batwoman to... I think they're really going out of their way to try to, like, not go down that formulaic road, and I think that's the best. But also, you don't have to lean into it like Black Lightning, because that's kind of why Black Lightning lost their audience. So we've already hemorrhaged the Ruby Rose fans, so I'm just saying, maybe lighten up for a little bit.
You know what I feel they're doing? I kind of feel like they're doing a Terry McGinnis with her. And remember when they did, what was it? The one with the Joker, The Joker Returns?
The Return of the Joker.
And, yeah, where what was it? Was it Jason Todd or was it the other one? It was Tim Drake.
It was Tim.
Is actually, infected with the Joker and gets turned into the Joker. And it is just this idea that, oh my goodness, you think I'm the old one. No, I'm a very different person.
Dude, he basically trolls the Joker into defeat. Yes, that's why that movie's the best.
Exactly.
He's like, oh no, I'll laugh at you. No problem.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what they're going with, which is that this is not, and like, I think that tension between her and Luke about like, Batwoman doesn't kill. And she's like, why not? These people are killing people. Maybe
it's Gotham. It's Gotham. We need to adjust and recalculate.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I have to say my favorite moment in this is where we do get world's greatest detective Batwoman in this, where when when she says, "Oh, and Alice has killed so many people, and yet she's still walking around." Like, don't think I don't know why that is. And she's like, the guy in charge of crows has no sympathy for her. She's like, why would he have sympathy for her? I meant because she's white. And she's like, and it just, then she pieces it together. Oh, that's his daughter. And, I loved that aspect of it. See, this Batwoman, she can piece together things, but also she just doesn't know things out of hand. She has to get the clues, but people are more than willing to give you the clues when they have a secret to hide. So I loved that aspect of it. I thought that was just a brilliantly written scene, and how she pieces together exactly what the whole backstory of everyone is in this. And, I love Mary in this. I thought Mary was great in this, although, again, like I said, I thought it was a little weird that she gets the drop on Zaz at one point. And I thought the actual Zaz's introduction is very weird, where she's like taunting this woman in the bathtub with her AirPods in. And it's like, dude, like, is this like I don't know. It was just a very weird scene.
Arrowverse.
And in fact, even when Tristan was watching, he's like, why is he monologuing? Don't monologue.
Arrowverse.
Villains got a monologue. It's like OCD.
But you know what?
Villains just got to do it.
I'm going to do what I want to do. So, but I'm telling you, because this was a thing we were discussing, because he was talking about, basically I was telling you about if you've ever seen the film Tag, the assassination game, which is this film from the 80s, basically on a college campus. They had this little game where everyone shoots each other with dart guns, and there's one guy who's like the best assassin in the game, and then he like gets the drop on the fat kid, and he's monologuing at the fat kid because he gets him in the shower, and then the fat kid just accidentally knocks over his gun, which goes off and shoots the guy in the head with the dart. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I just killed the best assassin. And he's like, no, man, that doesn't count. And he just tries to backtrack. And it's just this idea that when you start monologuing, you don't know what's going to happen next. And you're leaving yourself open to, he don't know this woman. He don't know that, what she's got going on. This is a world with superpowers. It's not a good idea to start monologuing. I mean, it doesn't end poorly for him, so I guess maybe he's just never faced this scene. But then again, that's what happens with Mary, is he starts his monologue, and then, she gets away. Because if someone's not sitting in abject terror the whole time, he doesn't know what to do. Which basically tells you Zaz is not good at his job. And why would you pay that much to kill some thought,
No.
It's like, is that really worth your money to kill some thought? I don't know.
A sweet summer child.
That's okay. Rob doesn't know what thought means, so it's okay.
My sweet summer child.
It's the Arrowverse, man. You're putting too much thought into it.
I know, like, seriously, drink your apple juice and just enjoy it. Don't think too hard. That's just how you do it for the Arrowverse.
Just sit back and let it happen.
Honestly, you watch Legends, Just think.
I know. I mean, that's my only real sad thing is that part of me wants to think, oh man, what if Batwoman? What if Ruby Rose became a legend? But it's like, no,
we're never working with Ruby Rose at Warner Brothers ever again. She is banned, and she might just be banned at Disney as well.
So I was gonna say, so she.
You just can't do the thing that she did and expect somebody to hire you again.
I have no problem with it. So she's not coming back, definitely, to the show. That's fine with me.
I wish people would get on board with that idea.
I think they're going to turn her into the woman bat.
The character.
That's my big prediction for the season. Yeah. The character, Kate, is going to be the woman bat.
She doesn't deserve it. Her body needs to wash up out of the Gotham River, and that is that. Sorry.
Because they're going to want...
There's the body, there's your closure.
I mean, we still don't...
The closure is The closure is going to be she's going to be the woman bat, and she's going to fly off into a bell tower, and then every so often they're going to bring her back as like this thing, and then like maybe 2 or 3 seasons down the line, they'll find a cure and she'll be back, and it won't be Ruby Rose because she's been a woman bat for 3 years, and it's like, wow, did you get your eyes done? I don't know. It looks great.
Again, they could use the Alice actress because they were supposed to be twins.
Identical.
Exactly.
Wait, who is her identical twins?
Every time I'm just like, they should have just held Rachel Scarlett, because she's amazing.
That's what I
said.
said.
She gives me that Aaron Richards vibe, stabby bad.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what I said.
They
could have killed Alice off and made her Batwoman. Just said, she needed some cosmetic surgery. Yeah, they were supposed.
They did a face off. Okay, they did a face off.
Those sisters were supposed to be identical twins. And I always take it as when Alice went missing.
We could have just hired Justin Bieber, to be honest.
Oh, or Ellen DeGeneres.
No. She looks like the female Justin Bieber. That's the joke.
But yeah, no, that was my whole.
Anyways,
they should. Yeah.
I don't know. Don't expect Ruby Rose back. That's all I'm gonna say. And
I'm fine with
no, I don't expect her back. I just expect.
I'm just saying, maybe expect her body to wash up in the Gotham River. Maybe at the end of the season. That's all I'm saying. I'm just gonna put that out there.
We don't need her. The story is good. And weren't you saying? I was listening back to one of our Batman episodes. Didn't you say like some of these weird guys are like, oh yeah, I liked Ruby Rose because she was attractive. I'm like, this girl is very attractive also. So it's like you have.
But internet and racism, Philip.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all that I can say.
Okay.
I mean, it's. Oh wait, because I was following everybody on Batwoman, and I just saw it. It's like, oh, we won't tolerate hate speech, and like right in the CW Batwoman's little bio tag, and I'm just like, it's so sad that you have to say that, isn't it? You don't see that on Arrows or Flashes or even Black Lightning.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right there. It's right on the thing.
Why? Because it's a black.
Because of all the comments from over the summer, ever since she was announced.
Why? Because she's a black woman and she's feeling.
Yeah, apparently it was like a big thing that happened on Twitter about that. So that's why they have that.
And to be fair, we just had an armed insurgency in the Capitol, so. We're kind of very cautious about Nazis now. We're like a little like, hey, maybe we shouldn't let Nazis just talk all the time.
It's like
maybe we should just be saying,
I know.
We want to not see what you have to say.
We're still trying to purge the hateful part of the world. The fandom out. So
it's like George Carlin.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see who's the new Batman?
Oh, for that.
For the audio drama podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the guy that's going to be Jim Gordon from Westworld.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember his name now.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Yeah.
Jeffrey Wright, thank you. Yes! Oh, he has such a great Batman voice. So, and not gravelly, which I like. I like a good, smooth baritone Batman.
So what?
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
So what? So DC's putting out podcasts, and now HBO Max is going to at least putting out this podcast, which I'm sure they'll put out more. But so HBO Max.
Well, I don't think they always hop on the trends a little too late. Just. Your marketing team sucks, bro. Like, whoever told you to do this?
Yeah, I don't know about
just a little late.
I don't know about the audio pod. If they're going to do that, why don't they just do like an animated thing?
Because we're already doing the Batman animated series sequel.
Well, true.
And then we got Harley Quinn. And then the movies that they're doing that nobody's buying. P.S. By the way.
Yeah, but Batman's the only thing selling. You could do 20 million Batman things.
No, I don't think you can.
Oh, no?
I think they saturated the market and they pissed off the fans.
True.
Just to be honest.
And to put it to you, really simple, podcasts are cheap.
Oh, true.
It costs almost nothing to...
studio time is actually very expensive to do a professional podcast, especially the way that they're...
Who said it was going to be professional?
Let me put it to you this way.
They're talking to Rob Southgate.
Why did your
that's the case.
Let me put it, if you are doing an animated... show?
Well, yeah, comparatively, but...
Well, that's all you can do is do it comparatively. So they said, here's the cost for live action, here's the cost for animated, here's the cost for a podcast. Well, this one just has the voice actor. We only have to pay them for their voice. That's a much better deal. That is like a third of the cost.
Yeah.
So, yes. So, podcasting, the wave of the future.
What did you say?
It's not going to go how they think they're going to go. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't know.
Their marketing team is late to the job. Their marketing team's not doing their job. Period. Point blank. And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, well, either way, I
a
might
mess over
download
there.
it unless it costs money.
I was gonna say if it's free, I'll check it out. But I was gonna say I just like even like those Marvel.
Yeah, the
ones.
first 2 are free, then you pay for the rest.
Well, or like Audible was doing some Marvel ones. Like they were doing them like you had to pay for them, and then if you waited a while, they released them for free with ads. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 months. I don't mind. See, Lilith won't take an ad, and so she misses out on content because...
No, I don't miss out on content, and I don't feel bad about getting it for free, because screw you, you've gotten literally probably tens of thousands of our money over the course of my life, so I just really don't feel bad about it.
Pirates are.
Fair enough.
I wasn't always a pirate. Somebody hurt me and made me a pirate.
Oh,
they drove her to this life.
Show me on the doll where Warner's hurt you, Lilith.
Hold on, wait for it.
Oh no!
I'll show you.
She's pulling out a doll.
See that's Wonder Woman. That's where they hurt me. Oh, by the way, Daredevil for our podcast. The devil you know, better than the devil you don't. Just merch everywhere. It's disgusting. I know. I'm sorry.
And for what it's worth, Marvel is the devil you know.
At this point, basically.
You know what you know. It may not be exactly what you want, but you know what you're gonna get.
And on that note, enough shameless plugging. Let's get to the real plugs.
Lilith is like, it's a weekday. How dare you drag me out of my hole?
You see, it's dark, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd like
going to bed.
All right.
Just gotta take the armadillos for a walk, Phil.
I just gotta feed them. It's too late. They're all ready to have their dinner and go to bed.
She just has to toss them a fresh corpse. That's all. All right, everyone. So yes, most importantly, yes, go pick up Radiant Black. When this hits, it'll be tomorrow. So tomorrow, February 10th, pick up Radiant Black #1 and put it on your pull list. Charlie Esser, I'm talking to you. Put it on your pull list because you miss stuff when you don't put it on your pull list. All right. So yes,
I know.
Go subscribe to Kyle's newsletter. Get all the up-to-date news on the merch and stuff, because I know that's what me and Lilith are going to be doing. Looking for merch. All right, so, but also follow us, but send us your thoughts, questions. Hey, if you're another comics creator and you want to plug your product, please email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Capes and Lunatics on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can follow all of our shows, our various shows. Links to the YouTube. You can watch this video. Links to the Patreon and Lil Hellfire's Hard R reviews. Links to merch. All in one. Throw it up. All in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, my friends. And all right, I hope you heard this that interview in crystal clear quality. Because if you did,
if you didn't,
well, I was gonna say if you did, you're probably wearing some tweaked audio headphones.
But if you didn't, you should get yourself some.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And
they can use the coupon code Southgate at checkout to get a discount on those tweaked audio headphones that they could buy at tweakedaudio.com.
But is there somewhere else they could use that code, Charlie Esser?
Well, yes, I believe if they go to hunterkiller.com, they can help Michelle Gray solve a cold case, have a veritable escape room delivered to their house, and save money while they do it. So that sounds like fun.
That's right. Stay home and have your own Super Bowl.
Or, if you're getting supplies for the game, you could go to Amazon, and when you do, there's 2 things you should do while you're there.
Go down to our show notes.
Yes, use the link.
Click on the link to Amazon.
That's right.
Where the great cookies will tell them where you came from and will cost you nothing, will help us out immensely. And while you're there, pick up Pod Life, the book written by the Southgate Media Group crew about the joys and terrors of podcasting. Do you want a podcast? Do you want to not ever podcast again? Read this book. It'll do one of those 2 things for you.
Learn what it's like podcasting under the iron fist of Rob Southgate.
Master Doom.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom. Nice mustache, Charlie.
You're weak sauce.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
That's Lilith's favorite.
Mark my words.
All right, Lilith, where can people find you when you're not walking your armadillo army?
if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, we're at Live Tweets. And, as soon as the Arrowverse, something good in the Arrowverse comes back, I'll be live tweeting more than just Batwoman at Lilith Hellfire. Hang out with me on the gram at either Lilith Hellfire 86 or at Lilith Hellfire 69, both on TikTok and Instagram for the memes.
You hit him right in the face with that sack.
If you're lucky.
Hello,
Bye, Felicia.
Charlie Esser.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our Maz and Paz once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. Of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet Batwoman Sunday nights at 8, although it comes on again Monday nights at 9 on my local CW station. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIE. ESSCR. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing!
Thank you, Maz. Thank you, Tristan.
Esser stereo.
There's a thin line.
No. You weren't recording the whole time? Recording hasn't started?
Oh, no, it's started.
He pushed the wrong button.
We'll fix it in post. Anyway, for another week, we have been your tape
Episode
Lunatics!
Feels so dirty to do this on a Monday.
Don't you usually do Nightwing News on Monday or something?
Yes, we're doing it Wednesday. Hey, first episode of Green Lantern tomorrow.
Nice.
Have we talked about the new Tim Drake and Titans yet?
I think we mentioned it once.
Speaking of
The last episode of Capes and Lunatics.